Hello everybody, Gray Still Plays, and today I want to bring you guys a real quick tip guide for Rimworld, especially in the Alpha 15 version. This is going to be rapid fire tips so that I can throw as many tips to you guys as quickly as possible so you can just watch the entire thing and hopefully learn something that you didn't know before. Let's go! Number 1, the categorized list on the left-hand side of the page. If you want to know how to get it, all you have to do is go down to the bottom right-hand side of the screen. There's a toggle categorized mode on the resource readout. Go ahead and click on it, and you'll be able to compress everything and make everything much more clean when it comes to the different areas and textiles and foods and currencies within the game. Number 2, cursor scroll. If you want to get rid of that annoying cursor scroll when you try and move your cursor over to the side of the screen and you end up dragging the entirety of your view with it, go to menu, go to options, right over here. Screen edge mouse scroll. It's on by default. Go ahead and click it off. Number 3, if you have a room that's absolutely filthy and you want to go ahead and force clean it without having to click on a colonist and then right click on the various dirts to get it cleaned, go ahead and select your colonist, make sure that they have the ability to clean the room, draft them, move them inside of the room, forbid the door, and then watch them go to town after undrafting. There we go. Tons of cleaning right there. Number 4, have a power conduit that you want to deconstruct, but don't want to deconstruct the thing that's over it because it's underneath something like a wall. Go ahead and click on the wall, then click a second time, and it'll select your power conduit for you. Number 5, many people don't understand what the purpose of a power switch is. When you have an area that you're going to be utilizing a lot of power in, but you don't want to keep on all the time, such as your kill box with turrets, go ahead and put a power switch that goes out to the grid that powers all of the turrets. You can go ahead and select it off or on. If you select it off and flick the switch, it'll turn your entire grid off in this area to save you a lot of power. And likewise, if you have enemies coming in and you need to get this place set up quick, you can go ahead and turn your designation of power on, flick the switch, and then immediately all of your turrets are now powered. Number 6, do you want to keep your animals outside of the home zone, but allow them to wander the entirety of the map? Perhaps they're carnivores that should be hunting other creatures. Go over to your zone area, click on it, select the home area that you want. Then once you have your area selected, go back to your expand allowed areas, manage your areas, and then click on invert. That will make the entirety of the map allowable without you having to go out of your way to go and drag and select it all. Number 7, do you want to use drugs and beer to keep your mood up, but you don't want your people utilizing them at all times and getting addicted and or wasted and drunk? Go over to the assigned area. Make yourself a drug policy. You can click on a drug policy, click on edit, click on schedule, not joy, and then put your frequency at only if mood below, and then set your mood level. Anytime the colonist mood level drops below this number, they'll go ahead and take a smoke of a smoke leaf, a drink of a beer, but they won't go beyond that and go binging all over it unless they have that particular trait. Number 8, don't want your colonists wearing tattered clothing. Just like setting a drug policy, go ahead and select an outfit policy. Go over to edit, allow them to wear whatever you want, but go to the hit point area for the clothing and select 51 or above hit points. This way, none of your colonists are ever wearing tattered clothing for that negative debuff. Number 9, have a table inside of one of your colonist rooms, but you don't want it being utilized for a gathering spot, say for parties. Click on it and then click off of gathering spot. Number 10, don't want to have roof collapses. Roofs can only extend 6 tiles away from any wall. That means the biggest room that you can have to completely roofed without additional pillar support is a 13 by 13 room. Number 11, stagger your heaters and coolers. If you stagger them a couple of degrees away from one another, you can often save yourself some power use and still keep the area roughly at the appropriate temperature that the heaters are set at. Number 12, do you want a quick and easy way to find out exactly where all of the roof structures are inside of your base and inside of mountains? Go to the bottom right and click on the toggle visibility of roofs. A bright green outline will show you everywhere that a roof exists. Number 13, a hospital bed can only benefit from 1 vitals monitor, but did you know that you can hook up to 8 hospital beds to 1 vitals monitor? If you don't mind your hospital looking all jacked up, you can have 3 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and then 2 sideways on both sides for a total of 8 hospital beds to one monitor. As long as hospital beds are adjacent to a monitor, they'll get the effects of that monitor. Number 14, for job priorities, you can left click to start from the bottom and go up, but did you know that you can right click to go from the top and go to the bottom in numbers? Number 15, sterile tiles actually do something. They reduce the dirtiness and increase the cleanliness of a room, and they also reduce the potential for food poisoning and infection. Don't believe me? Go ahead and click on the room stats down here on the bottom right, and then hover over the room. You're going to notice that the cleanliness of this hospital room is a 0.6, which is sterile. These tiles are the only thing that can get a room into a 0.6 range. Number 16, do you have a growing area that you don't want people to utilize any longer, but you may want to use it later in the season? Click on that growing area and click on allow or forbid sowing. This will make it so that they won't attempt to sow the area of your garden, but you won't have to delete that area either, so that you'd have to remake it at a later time. Number 17, if you're trying to keep an area extra cool or extra warm, double walling and double dooring an area provides incredible thermal protection and insulation. Number 18, long-term diseases like muscle parasites that don't have an immunity next to them are not permanent. Although it may take several applications of doctoring in order to fix it, it's recommended to turn off the medicine usage while doing this to conserve your medicine. Number 19, build chairs at work zones, the best chairs you can get. The reason for this is because if you look at your actual colonist while they're working and then go over to their needs area, you can see that their comfort will always remain high, giving them an excellent benefit in the mood area. Number 20, put your artillery shells inside of equipment racks. The reason why is because nothing inside of the equipment racks degrade, and if the artillery shells are inside, they won't degrade. If an artillery shell ever gets to 0, it will explode on its own. Number 21, stone beds have 10% less rest effectiveness compared to non-stone beds. Check this out. This sandstone bed, which is of poor craftsmanship, has an 85% rest effectiveness. Meanwhile, this wooden bed, which is also a poor craftsmanship, has a 95% rest effectiveness. The rest effectiveness is basically how fast people sleeping on the bed gain their rest back. Number 22, doing the same thing over and over again for joy reduces its effectiveness. Curious to see what kind of tolerances your colonists have for various joy activities? Go over to their needs and hover over joy. You're going to get to see meditative, social, gaming, and study. For this reason, have more outside and around your area rather than just one horseshoe pin. Number 23, doors made out of any type of stone are incredibly hardy, but open very slowly. If you click on the view information about this object tab, you'll see that these types of doors open at a 45% speed. Number 24, tile does more than just look good. It also increases your character's movement speeds. Check this area here that has some dirt with a 76% movement speed next to this tile, which has 100% movement speed. Number 25, want to kill off one of your pets or farm animals to get its meat and hide, but want to gain a little bit of experience as well? Don't slaughter it. Go over to the health tab, go over to operations, and euthanize it. The euthanization will get your medical professional quite a bit of doctoring skill. Number 26, when crafting something over and over again like food, do you want your crafters to walk less distance between making the item and putting it on the ground for storage? Whenever you have some sort of build created, go over to details, go over on the upper left-hand side. This is going to automatically be on take to best stockpile, but instead choose drop on floor. Whenever someone gets done crafting something, they're simply going to drop it on the floor closest to the area that they're making the bill at. Number 27, let's say you're out in the field in a fight and someone gets injured, but you don't want to drag them all the way back to your hospital because you're afraid that they're going to bleed out. Go over to the architectural tab, go to furniture, create a sleeping spot right next to them, and then designate it as a medical spot. That will allow one of your doctors to pick up your colonist and get them treated right away. Number 28, not having any animals spawn on the map. It's probably because you have too many pets. Too many pets will cause no other animals to spawn on the map. Number 29, do you have a nudist that's in a very, very cold biome and you don't want them to freeze to death? Go ahead and make them a toque. Nudists can wear headgear without the penalty to their nudism, and the toque will often be good enough to keep them warm in biomes like boreal forests. And number 30, do you want to see exactly what the range is of one of your weapons that one of your colonists is carrying, say to get just in the range of something before shooting it? Go ahead and draft your colonist, click on the weapon, and you'll see an area that shows you exactly where you can shoot. click on anything inside of this area to attack it, even something like a wall. And that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed these Rimworld tips. Like I said, I wanted to keep it rapid fire and as quick as possible. I hope that something was here for everyone, maybe something that you didn't know before. If there's a tip here that you didn't see that you think is rare and interesting, maybe for the next tip guide that I do, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Until the next time, folks, stay foxy and much love.